Good evening, everyone. Aldus Valor here. I decided, fuck it, we're gonna be a little bit different tonight. We're gonna do this one outside. I don't know. A friend of mine and I, we had an interesting talk today. And the end result of this discussion was, this is him talking, if I ever become president, I want you to be my vice president. And I was very touched and moved by this sentiment, and here's why. The very first day of his third year, something is going to go terribly wrong with Air Force One. The landing gear wouldn't respond, all the fail-safes have failed, and basically the airplane carrying the President of the United States, my boss, and his entire family will essentially just plummet from the sky, and everyone, his family, the flight crew, would be obliterated in a fiery wreckage. And then I would get up and, sadly and with a heavy heart, I would accept the office of President of the United States, and I'd finish his 2 years, the 2 years he had left in his term. And I'd solve all of the problems. I'd solve everything. I'd solve everything in 2 years. I can get it done in half a term. And everyone would love me, and they'd elect me when I decided to run for president by myself, and then that'd be another 4 years. And of course I'd get re-elected, so that's another 4 years, and that'd make it a grand total of 10 years, a whole decade of Aldus Valor at the reins, and that would just be fucking awesome. And I would have the highest approval rating as a president ever, in the history of ever. And here's what I do to get that high approval rating. I'd bring slavery back. But no, not black people. Not black people, because African Americans, you know, they're Americans, they're citizens, they're afforded all the same rights that our Constitution has. But I would tear down the Mexican border and allow Americans to purchase Mexican slaves, and it would be great, because all of the racist white people can go out and find the darkest skinned Mexicans they could possibly find, and they'd be their slaves. And you know, the black people can do the same thing too. They'd go out and find the lightest skinned Mexican people that they could find and make them their slaves, and we'd follow the same rules in the Bible, you know. When you buy a slave, he's good for 7 years. Then you got to let him go. But if he takes a wife and has kids while he's your slave, only he gets to go on the 7th year. And then but if he loves his family, you know, he can stay with his family and be your slave forever, and that would just work out great. You know, and you can hit them with the rod as hard as you want, as long as you don't kill them. If you don't kill them, you know, you're cleared of any wrongdoing. But you know, white people have dark-skinned Mexicans, and black people have light-skinned Mexicans, but then what about Mexican Americans? You know, what do they get? Well, we'll let them buy Puerto Rican slaves, and then everybody's happy except for the slaves. But that doesn't matter, because they're not citizens, so they don't count. And only the citizens would take part in the approval rating poll. So you know, I'd be the greatest president ever, I think. But then I thought about it a little bit more, and I thought, well, I'm an anarchist. If I actually, you know, became president, it would only be long enough to tear down every law in the books and just reduce this country to lawlessness. And that's the way it should be. It really is. It's truly fair. And that's what... Life isn't fair. That's only because we have rules, and we have echelons, and we have classes, and we have people telling other people what to do. And sure, that's not fair, but tear down the rules. Tear down all the taboos. Nothing is right and nothing is wrong, because there's no standard. Get rid of the standard. everything's right. Everything, you're allowed to do whatever you want. Rape and murder, who am I to draw the line there? I'm not God. I truly believe if we get rid of all of the rules, all of the taboos, all of the regulations, all of the religions, and we just functioned as a human race, we could finally see what we're truly made of. I've been Aldus Valor, and dinner's been served.